Hello, I'm Michael Riley. I grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona, and been here since 1962. We moved here. My twin brother was Patrick. Had asthma so bad we were born in Minnesota, and he wasn't going to live, so we moved to Arizona, where there's a lot of dust. So with asthma, he still had problems, but that's how we got here. He ended up being a deputy sheriff and was killed in the line of duty March 11th, 94. And I just couldn't live here anymore. So I moved to San Diego. I've been in San Diego for about 30 years. And with health challenges, I decided to come back. I don't have any family, so I just felt that I would come back where I grew up and where everybody kind of loves Scottsdale and different places that I've lived over the years. It wasn't just San Diego, but I was a national trainer for a corporation out of Scottsdale back when in my mid-20s. Traveled all over the United States training techs and opening up service centers for the corporation out of Scottsdale. And I would be in each location, Washington, Tulsa, Fort Worth, whatever, for 9 months, a year, whatever it took. Worked at Whirlpool Corporation back about 40 years ago or so, and in Michigan. Was promoted into management, didn't like that. Came back and started a service company. And been doing service ever since. But I've also expanded on manufacturing over the years. I manufacture several refrigeration parts for especially SubZero, replacement parts, evaporators, and condenser. It might be foreign to some people what I'm talking about, but service companies and if you've had service on a refrigerator or whatever, you kind of have heard the term as well. But I'm pretty much a specialist and also a manufacturer and also a distributor of parts for SubZero. I sell every SubZero part there is. If you need it, I can get it for you. You can go on my website, refrigerator part replacements, that's plural, refrigerator part replacements.com. And if I don't have the SubZero part on there, contact me. My email's on there, and I don't put a phone number on there because there's so many Google spam calls anymore. It's just you'd be answering the phone. It's all spam. So email me, and then we can talk on the phone. I'll email you back if you have a question about something that you need. But I specialize in SubZero parts. I work on all brands. Like I said, I worked at Whirlpool Corporation. Whirlpool is umbrella of many different brands. They bought Maytag's line of also in 2006. So, but I work on everything. I'm what's called a full line tech. But I'm also a trainer. I have a training company. I've been training techs for. I just realized the other day it was 17 years I've had my training school. ApplianceRepairTechSchool.com, and that's the website address, ApplianceRepairTechSchool.com. I have actually got a special right now for techs. If you're learning, the best place to learn is not on YouTube. I do have a school, and it's actually I'm offering a half off right now, special, 17 years special, 17 years running the school special. So I've been training for about 30 years. And I've had techs come in. I train one-on-one. I've had techs come in from all over the world to my school. It's one-on-one. It's not a class. So you get a lot more out of it. It's just me and the person that's training, student, tech. And like I said, it's a half off right now. Special celebrating 17 years. I work on all the brands. I can't do service anymore due to a personal injury. I can't say much about it because it's still being litigated, but it was a brain bleed, and so I can't do service anymore. I lost my service career, so I'm going to be concentrating on the training and assisting customers with. If you're out there and you don't know whether to have a repair done, or if you're being ripped off, or just advice on what might be wrong with it, contact me. I'm really good with diagnosis, and I've been doing it consulting-wise over the phone and on Zoom for many years. Even before Zoom was a big thing, I was doing video conferencing customers, not only doing the repairs. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, I can walk you through the repair as well. I've done repairs for 11 hours, compressor replacements, sealed system repairs. So I'm very patient with customers. One of my biggest interests is that customers be treated right, and customers are always worried about whether they're going to be ripped off. There are companies out there that are ripping customers off. There's always going to be in every industry. It's not just appliance repair, car repair, whatever. We're all aware of it. So if you have appliance repair needs, even some heating and air. I did heating and air for 20 years, but I'm not going to be doing that really. But if you have some questions about it, you can ask me. What I want to do is provide basically a service that there isn't out there, and that is with the customer. You never know if somebody's telling you the truth about something. In most cases, I can walk you through diagnosis, and we can determine very likely what the problem is. Or we can do a second opinion type of thing. If you have somebody out there and they're giving you a $3,000, $8,000 quote, and you think this is crazy, and you don't think it's right what they're telling you, contact me. I'll go through it with you and give you a very good idea what probably is the problem and what the cost should be. I can't give you an exact cost, but I'll give you an average. And it's going to be like a nationwide average. So it doesn't have to be just in Scottsdale. It can be all over the United States. Like I said, I've worked all over the United States. I have restoration kits for SubZero refrigerators. SubZero is trying to force new repairs. So if you have a SubZero built-in and you've been told that you need to buy a new $15,000, $18,000, they can't fix it. Well, that's not accurate. Contact me. I do make restoration kits available, sealed system and complete restoration with the fan motors and the thermostat and everything. So you're completely restoring it. It's a couple $1,000s instead of $18,000. And it's a big job, but you're going to totally restore it. You're probably going to get another 10, 15, 20 years out of it. Usually the cabinet and everything is in great shape, even though it's 20, 30 years old. Some cases 40 years old. It still can be repaired in most cases. So I actually manufacture evaporators for those that SubZero stopped making. They don't make them anymore. I started manufacturing them. So like I said, it's still available and it's still able to be repaired in most cases. So if you have questions about repairs, basically it's not only a diagnostic and a technical assistance that I can give you, but also consulting, whatever needs that you have that are appliance repair related. Like I said, I'm focusing not only on SubZero, but specifically specializing in SubZero. So any brand is fine. There's two exceptions, Samsung and LG. I suggest people do not buy them. That's up to you. But there's a lot of service companies that will not service them anymore. There's a lot of lawsuits, class actions. because they were electronics companies. They made stereos. And they decided, oh, we can jump into the appliance industry and we can make tons of money. So like Samsung, they're winning awards that, it's glass front and all this. They ran the price of the refrigerators up from $1,500 to $1,800, $1,200. They ran them up to like $35,000 to $4,000. That's all they did. But the problem is they were electronics companies. They don't know how to make refrigeration product. So they're freezing up. There's a lot of issues. You get them out to your house, they can't fix it because it's an engineering problem. It was engineered wrong. So there's no fix. So you spent $3,500 on a refrigerator and it's freezing up. It's not cooling properly. They can't fix it. And that's not all of them, but they have some lawsuits, big lawsuits. Here's an example. LG, same thing. There's problems, all kinds of problems with LG. They were an electronic company. The batteries in the phones, the Samsung, the only battery that's banned on an airplane, Samsung battery. It's not made by Samsung, but it's in their phones. You get caught with that on a cell phone or an airplane, a certain battery that they use, and that's the problem. That's a reflection on Samsung. That's how they are. As far as I'm concerned, that's my opinion. But it's fact, they're not allowed that battery, that phone. They're exploding. And everybody's seen probably videos of it. It's terrible. So I will not help with Samsung or LG because they're just problematic and they're not worth buying. They're a waste of money as far as I'm concerned. So steer away from those, and that's the advice that I would give you. Go back to the regular brands of Whirlpool, of KitchenAid. GE doesn't make appliances anymore. Haier bought them out, so it's not even GE when it says the GE logo on it. So I'd stay away from that too. But Kenmore, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, just your typical brands that have been around forever. And appliances have changed. I don't want to make this really, really long, but I just want to throw a few things in. Appliances have really changed. So the old rule of thumb, you get what you pay for, so pay more and you get a better product. Don't do that with appliances. That's not the case anymore. All you do is wasting your money. When people buy the washing machines, I tell them to go to Costco, buy a top-loading machine with the lid that opens in the top, and if they can get mechanical controls, you can't get them anymore. Even though there's a knob on there, there's an electronic control that the knob's attached to. They've gone to all electronics. They know that service companies have been telling people not to buy the electronic ones, so they thought they'd get smart and put a knob on there, but electronic control that the knob's attached to. So, there's still electronic control in there. But Costco, $400 or $500 for a washer. The front-loading ones, the big, beautiful, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500. And the problem with the front loaders is a lot of them is the bearings are cracking. 2 to 3 years, and it's a huge repair. It's like $6,000-$8,000 repair in 2 to 3 years. You don't have that problem with the top loads. You can just keep running top loader, and you get probably 10 plus years out of it. You don't have the problems with just the basic washer. So keep your price down, and that's good news. That's the kind of advice I can give you. That's just a good example. I tell you from the service aspect, because that's the people that really know what's going on with cars, with appliances, with everything. The salesmen, don't listen to them. They don't know. They just want to sell you a product. Oh, this has energy efficient, and they just want to sell the more expensive product. Service company's going to tell you the truth. Okay, most of them will, because we work on them. We know what the problems are. Salesmen don't go out and work on them. They have no idea what the problems are. So that's kind of example I'll give you as far as other things that I can offer to the consumer. I'm on your side. I've always been that way. I don't like it when service company goes out there and they quote 2, 3, 4 times what it should cost. And so I'm here to protect you. Use me as a resource, and I'll be honest and straightforward with you. Like I said, I can't give you the exact cost, but I'll give you a real good idea. The part is supposed to be about this cost. I'll use the word about, because I just don't, when they come in, you can't tell the service company. They're allowed to inflate the price of the part for carrying it out to you. That's another reason why I can't give you exact price, because when they come in the house, well, he told me it was this price. You don't want to do that, because they're just like at Whirlpool 40 years ago. When we took a part out to the customer's home, it was 25% above retail. So you could go to the store and buy it yourself, but you didn't know how to put it in, for $100. But when we carried it out as factory service Whirlpool technicians, it was $125. So that's an example right there. But you'll have an idea that it's not supposed to be $500. That's the point I'm trying to make. So if they're trying to tell you it's $600 for that part, I'm going to tell you it should be somewhere around $100 to $150, and you know that you're being ripped off. Okay? So I'll give you a ballpark. Same thing with labor. Tell you, he tells you it's going to be $1,200. No, it doesn't take that long to put that part in. So I'm going to tell you, probably, usually, it's like $100 to $200 labor. Okay, another example. So I won't give you an exact figure, because they're allowed to charge what they charge. And some of the service companies are a lot better than other service companies, and some guys will charge real small prices because they're just new and they're just not the quality of service company. So you're going to pay a little bit more. That's where you will pay more sometimes for a quality service company that has a better warranty, and they've been doing it a long time. Okay? So there's going to be differences in labor prices, just like fixing your car. Different car shops, they have different prices. And then you have some that want to rip everybody off. So that's what I'll steer you away from. So it's nice to be back in Scottsdale. And unfortunately, I can't do service anymore. That was taken away from me. But I can still offer the consumer everything that I ever done, except just not the hands-on. If it's minor stuff and you're local, where I'm not exerting and having to bend over, I had a brain bleed, so I can't cause that to bleed again. It could be fatal. So I'm not going to take that risk. I kind of like being here. So that's where I'm at. But if it's minor or something, or I need to come by or something, I can still do that. Nothing's stopping me from just walking in and doing minor stuff that doesn't take any, but for the most part, my service career is over. The hands-on. So if you have questions, if you have SubZeros that somebody's told you can't fix, and you definitely want to fix it, contact me. And I've got some service companies that I've talked with here already that have shown interest in doing the repairs. If there's service companies listening to this, let me know if you want to do the repairs, and I'll turn the customer to you. And I supply the parts, and they will do the installation and charge you the labor. And like I said, some of the parts aren't available. I'm the only one in the world that manufactures some of the parts, because I wanted to make it possible for customers to be able to repair their old units when SubZero's coming in and saying, no, we can't do that. You have to buy a new one. They're trying to force sales, and I don't think that's right. So that's why I started doing this. So it's good to be back, like I said. Anything I can give you help with, I am a total resource when it comes to appliance repair in general. Usually I'll know what the answer is. If it's something out of the blue or it's been a long time since I've seen that, or it's a new model that I'm not familiar with, I will find out the information for you, because foundation is all the same. And It's just the new models. I just got to find out what parts are being used. And if you have a Whirlpool, new Whirlpool refrigerator that has an ice maker issue, the people that have this will know what I'm talking about. And it has a 5-pin connector in the freezer, and you can't get the right ice maker, contact me. I make the harness for it. Whirlpool forgot to make the harness. Unbelievable. For 2 years. I make a replacement harness, and I also make adapters for those, so you can put in your old ice maker. You don't have to buy a new ice maker. You can use your old ice maker, your modular ice maker. And I make a new harness for it that has the 5-pin connector on the freezer end. It plugs into the ice maker and plugs into the freezer. I've been selling those and made those, designed those a couple years ago, and have sold thousands and thousands of them to solve the problem of Whirlpool screwing up. Unbelievable what they did. And they took over 2 years to start making them. And so that's for the Whirlpool. But I not only, like I said, do service, not only sell SubZero, all SubZero parts, I can refer you to, for other brands, I can refer you to parts, or possibly, especially, I can possibly get them for you if you're having a hard time doing that, other brands, Whirlpool, whatever. But I don't sell those exclusively. SubZero, all SubZero parts I do. They're on my website, refrigeratorpartreplacements.com. Also, the restoration kits are on restoreyoursubzero.com, a different website. Once again, if there's students out there or tech, somebody wants to be a tech, or somebody is a tech and they just like to have specialized training, appliancerepairtechschool.com. Like I said, 17-year special. I've got half price right now. You can go on there and see that. There's so I cover everything. I do training and everything. So I've been doing this, working on heading towards 50 years. And I've been in management with Whirlpool and training, and I was a national trainer. Like I said, I've trained techs for over 30 years. I've training school. I cover all the bases. So I'm not only just an advocate for the customer, but I'm also, if techs have a problem with a sealed system problem, contact me. I'll do it with Zoom. I'll do Zoom with you. One thing I'll just remind people have gotten used to with online of everything's free. This is my business. I'll talk to you for a long time and not suggest any kind of payment. But if I'm going to walk you through a repair or something, I've got different pricing for that, and it's reasonable. But if I'm going to be on Zoom with you or whatever, I'm going to suggest that this is the cost of my time. So it's not. And the problem with YouTube, going on YouTube, well, I'll just go on YouTube. The problem with YouTube is that you can't find your exact model usually. It's just general. So things will be different because it's a different model than yours or a different brand. They might be replacing the evaporator fan motor, but it's totally different because it's a different brand or a different model. So that's not going to help you looking up, and you can spend hours trying to find one, and a lot of times you don't find the exact model. It just is not model specific, YouTube videos. So that's where we could have been done with the repair, and it might be $69. It's not going to be anywhere near what the technician would come out and charge you. It'd be probably $140 to $200. So you can see $69. It's a lot cheaper, and I'm going to walk you through it. And that's for 2 hours. It's not $69 an hour. That's what they charge. It's more than that, $85, $100 an hour when they come out in your home. So it's definitely worth it, and I will spend the time to do it with you if you're a do-it-yourselfer. If you're a technician, you have a sealed system problem, and you can't figure it out, contact me. I'm I'm a specialist at refrigeration. There isn't a problem that I won't be able to identify. The thing is I know the systems. And my degree goes back to electrical engineering, thermodynamics and everything. So, and I manufacture refrigeration products. So I know how they work very well. And I can walk you through, here's where the problem is right here. And why did it happen? And I can usually tell you why. I also give you warnings about when you're doing the systems. If you're not sure about, you've never worked on a SubZero, I'll tell you what the pressures, I'll walk you through everything. Okay? And this comes from my mind. I'm not reading it from a book. I've actually done the work. Okay? I'm a full-line tech. So I've done all those jobs. And same thing with any of the appliances and all the brands. So, if you have any questions or concerns or need information about appliance repairs, contact me. Email me. Like I said, wherever this video is, there's going to be. I'll include my email. It could be on YouTube. It could be on Facebook. It could be wherever it is. And contact me, and I'd be more than happy to help you. Okay. And like I said, it's not going to be up front. I need to talk to me. You have to pay me. It's not going to be like that. I usually spend an hour or 2 hours sometimes before I even bring up anything about payment. So don't worry about that. That's not my focus. My focus is to answer your questions. Okay? I work different than most people. So, but then I like to be recognized for my time when I do walk you through and do something. Okay? So, once again, it's Michael Riley. It's ABA Appliance is my business. And I've got many websites. I've mentioned several of them. Refrigeratorpartreplacements.com is for the SubZero refrigerator parts. So if it's not on there, contact me, email me, and give me the model and serial number or a picture of the model and serial tag, and I'll find out if it's available, and I can get it for you, okay, and what the cost would be. All right, so take care, and it's great to be back in Scottsdale, and I look forward to meeting and seeing even people that I've known for many years, my whole life, possibly. So take care. Thank you. Whatever you need, let me know. Thank you.